All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I am VC Pramod. The headlines. Prime Minister Modi to address concluding session of BJP National Executive meeting in New Delhi today. Kerala makes masks mandatory in public places amid COVID scare. Supreme Court refuses to entertain plea seeking its intervention to declare Joshimath subsidence natural disaster. United Nations declares Pakistan-based Abdul Rehman Makki as global terrorist. And Korea to take on Japan and Germany to clash with Belgium at FIH Hockey Men's World Cup in Bhubaneswar today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the concluding session of the BJP National Executive meeting today. The two-day National Executive meeting began at NDMC Convention Centre in New Delhi yesterday. BJP President JP Nadda inaugurated the meeting. In his inaugural address at the first day of the meeting, Mr. Nadda called upon the party leaders and workers to leave no stone unturned to ensure BJP's victory in the upcoming assembly elections in 9 states this year. Briefing media about the first day of the meeting, senior party leader Ravi Shankar Prasad quoted Mr. Nadda as saying that the ongoing year is very important in the prelude to the 2024 Lok Sabha polls.
अध्यक्ष जी ने कार्यकारिणी समिति के सारे सदस्यों का आह्वान किया कि 2023 हमारे लिए बहुत जरूरी है। इस साल हमें 9 प्रदेशों में चुनाव को लड़ना है और अगले साल 24 में लोकसभा का चुनाव है। तो उन्होंने सारे राष्ट्रीय कार्यकारिणी के सदस्यों का आह्वान किया कि कमर कसकर लग जाएं, हमें एक भी चुनाव नहीं हारना है।
Mr. Nadda also asked party leaders to learn from Prime Minister Narendra Modi the way he worked in the recently held Gujarat Assembly polls. Mr. Nadda said that BJP's victory in the Gujarat Assembly elections is historic and extraordinary. Mr. Nadda said 72,000 booths were identified in 100 Lok Sabha constituencies where the BJP was weak, but the party has reached out to 130,000 booths in the areas to strengthen the party base. Mr. Nadda in his address also talked about the Panch Pran given by Prime Minister, which includes freedom from traces of the colonial past, holding pride in the tradition of India, commitment to making a developed India, unity in diversity, and making citizens responsible towards the nation. He also highlighted the work culture of New India, citing the example of the COVID vaccination program, which provided over 220 crore doses. The party president also remarked that India has become the 5th largest economy in the world by surpassing the UK. Mr. Prasad also informed that Mr. Nadda said it is for the first time that the President of India has come from a tribal community, adding that the BJP has given respect to deprived sections of society.
अध्यक्ष जी ने आगे कहा सबका साथ सबका विकास की हम बात करते हैं, तो हमने जो कहा है वो करके दिखाया है। आज भारत की राष्ट्रपति एक बहुत ही संभ्रांत आदिवासी सुशिक्षित नेत्री हैं, जिनको पहली बार उस बड़े संवैधानिक पद पर स्थान मिला है। आज राज्यपाल ओबीसी हैं, एसटी हैं, एससी हैं। आज केंद्रीय मंत्री बड़ी संख्या में ओबीसी, एससी, एनएसटी हैं। एससी, एसटी का वोट हमें काफी मिलता है, हमारे एमपी एमएलए जीतते हैं। हमने उनको सम्मान भी दिया है और ये पहली बार हुआ है। तो सभी वर्गों का सम्मान जो करने की बात है, तो ये उन्होंने बहुत बड़ी बात कही।
Briefing media about yesterday's proceedings, Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that the National Executive meeting also discussed a political resolution over 9 points moved by Union Minister Kiren Rijiju. She informed that the first discussion was on how opposition parties are using alleged derogatory remarks against Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP to present a negative campaign. Ms. Sitharaman said the opposition has levelled false allegations against Mr. Modi, but all the allegations were rejected by the court.
प्रधानमंत्री जी के खिलाफ व्यक्तिगत अब्यूसिव लैंग्वेज के द्वारा नेगेटिव कैंपेन जो ऑपोजिशन बेबुनियाद आरोप लगाकर चला, उन सब में हर एक में कोर्ट के सुप्रीम कोर्ट के द्वारा नकारते हुए ऑपोजिशन के टीका टिप्पणी हुआ है। पेगासस उस स्पाईवेयर के मामले में पीएम के खिलाफ नेगेटिव बातें बोलने के बावजूद इतने कोर्ट में बेस्ड ऑन एविडेंस जजमेंट सरकार की और प्रधानमंत्री के फेवर में आया।
Over 1,200 performers will take part in the first ever military tattoo and tribal dance festival as a part of the Republic Day celebrations in the national capital. To mark the 126th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, the performances will be showcased under the Adi Shaurya Parv Parakram Ka banner on 23rd and 24th of this month at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. The event aims at throwing light on the contribution of Subhash Chandra Bose to the nation's freedom struggle. Many traditional dance performances will be presented during the main event, including Gaur Maria, Gaddi Nati, Siddhi Dhamal, Baiga Pardhoni, Purulia and Bagurumba. The Indian Army will also present its prowess through acts like paramotor gliding, hot air balloon, horse show, Khukuri dance, Gatka, Malkham and martial arts. Kerala has made wearing masks compulsory in public places. A government order issued in this regard said the wearing of masks in public places will come into force with immediate effect. A report by our correspondent.
The State Health Department issued the order under the Epidemic Diseases Act for a period of 1 month. Although the state government has given no reason behind its decision to make wearing masks compulsory, it is believed that the rising cases of new COVID-19 variants elsewhere in the world and the increasing influenza across the state would have prompted the government to resort to such a step. According to the Health Department officials, the decision should be seen as a precautionary measure and there is no need for any alarm. The government order said that the use of sanitizers has also been made compulsory in all shops, offices, theaters and other places where people gather. It has also directed to ensure social distancing in all public places. Raj Mohan, AR News, Kochi.
The Supreme Court has refused to consider a plea for an intervention into the Joshimath subsidence issue and declare the crisis as a national disaster. The Supreme Court bench, headed by Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, dismissed the plea of Swami Avi Mukteswaranand Saraswati, seeking immediate intervention by it. The bench, also including Justices P.S. Narasimha and J.B. Pardiwala, asked the petitioner to move the Uttarakhand High Court with a fresh intervention application. The apex court said the Uttarakhand High Court can suitably redress the grievances, including of relief and rehabilitation to the affected people. The CJI said, as a matter of principle, the top court should allow the HC to deal with the matter. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. The world's longest river cruise, MV Ganga Vilas, is in Patna on its way to Dibrugarh via Bangladesh. 32 tourists from Switzerland are travelling in the cruise. The tourists are overwhelmed with the hospitality of the people of Bihar.
My experience, I without words, because I never had in my life such welcome, and India is incredible.
Our correspondent reports that tourists of the cruise will visit different iconic and historical places of Patna today.
Tourists will visit Takht Sri Hari Mandir Ji in Patna Sahib. It is birthplace of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, who is 10th and last Guru of Sikhs. They will also see Gol Ghar, which is situated in central Patna. It is made without pillar with large storage capacity of 1,40,000 tons of grain. Tourists are scheduled to visit Bihar Museum, which is one of the largest museums in South Asia. The Ganga Vilas cruise will stay tonight in Patna and it will depart for Simariya Begusaray tomorrow. Krishna Kumar Lal, AIR News, Patna.
The cruise will be in Bihar till the 22nd of this month. MV Ganga Vilas was flagged off from Varanasi by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday. The cruise will cover a 3,200-kilometer voyage, being pitched as the world's longest. In Madhya Pradesh, the two-day meeting of the Think 20 group under the G20 will conclude today. Ministers and subject experts are debating global good governance with environment-friendly lifestyle, moral values and auspiciousness at a convention being held in Bhopal. Think 20 was inaugurated by Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan yesterday. More from our correspondent.
On the final day of the Think 20 meeting, there will be 2 plenary sessions, 1 roundtable discussion and a closing session, while key subjects like the advancement of women and young leadership, as well as the notion that investing in children is investing in the future, were discussed on the first day. The first day's presentations were all focused on how India benefited humanity through vaccine diplomacy during the COVID crisis. Like that, India will help through the G20, offer solutions and act as the global voice for the issues and challenges that the world is currently facing. According to Think 20, India will design the next global development agenda. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
The Indian Met Department IMD has said 2 western disturbances in quick succession are likely to affect northwest India tomorrow and on Friday. As a result, cold wave conditions over northwest India are likely to abate from Thursday. Meanwhile, senior PRO Northern Railway R.K. Rana has informed that 15 trains are running late due to fog.
आज कोहरे के कारण लगभग 15 रेलगाड़ियां लेट चल रही हैं, क्योंकि उत्तर भारत में ठंड का प्रकोप थोड़ा सा कम हो गया, इसलिए रेलगाड़ियां भी आज कम लेट हैं। मेरा रेल यात्रियों से अनुरोध है कि वो घर से प्रस्थान करने से पूर्व 139 पर संपर्क करें, ताकि उनको किसी प्रकार की असुविधा न हो तथा रेलवे लाइन क्रॉस न करें। हमेशा फुट ओवर ब्रिज का प्रयोग करें, सतर्क रहें, सुरक्षित रहें।
The United Nations Security Council UNSC has listed Pakistan-based terrorist Abdul Rehman Makki as a global terrorist. Makki is the brother-in-law of Lashkar-e-Taiba LET chief and 2611 mastermind Hafiz Saeed. The development comes after India last year slammed China after it blocked the proposal to list Makki under the Sanctions Committee. Makki, who's been involved in raising funds, recruiting and radicalizing the youth to plan attacks in India, especially in Jammu and Kashmir, has already been listed as a terrorist by India and the United States. Makki has been in various leadership roles within the terrorist organization. In the FIH Hockey Men's World Cup being played in Odisha, Korea will take on Japan, while Germany will clash with Belgium at the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar today. More from our correspondent.
With its easy win against New Zealand yesterday, powerful Netherlands has got closer to the quarterfinals. In an exciting match in the Birsa Munda Hockey Stadium in Rourkela yesterday, the Dutch team trounced the Kiwis by 4-0. In another match in the same stadium, Malaysia defeated Chile by 3-2. On the other hand, Kalinga Stadium in capital Bhubaneswar witnessed world number 1 Australia struggling to overpower Argentina, but had to contain itself with a draw with 3 goals from each side. Similarly, France got the better of South Africa by scoring 2 goals against 1. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
In women's cricket, India beat United Arab Emirates UAE by 122 runs in the Under-19 T20 World Cup at Willamore Park, Benoni in South Africa yesterday and stays on top of Group D. Chasing target of 220 runs set by India, UAE could manage to score 97 for the loss of 5 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Renu Kataria.
Thank you, Pramod. BJP aims to win all 9 states in semis before 2024 final, says the Pioneer. Times of India on its front page states that BJP must win all 9 states in run-up to 2024, says Nadda. And the Tribune adds, adopt Gujarat model to win all 9 assembly polls, says Nadda. Almost all dailies have on their front page the story of Delhi shivering at 1.4 degrees Celsius. Cold wave hits capital, brings coldest night in 2 years, is the lead in the Hindustan Times. At 1.4 degrees centigrade, 22nd lowest temperature in 10 years in Delhi, says the Pioneer. For the first time since March 2020, Delhi logged 0 COVID cases, is on the front page of the Hindustan Times, adding that there have been no fresh cases of COVID-19 for the first time in 1,027 days. Most dailies have also on the front page the story of wholesale price inflation dipping below 5%, the lowest in 22 months. And finally, a story in the Indian Express has a story of a 71-year-old hockey coach quietly identifying and nurturing young talents and turning them into potential India players. Dominic Topper has been doing this relentlessly every day for the past 22 years from a small village near Rourkela. And with that, it's back to you, Pramod.
Thank you, Renu. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Modi to address concluding session of BJP National Executive meeting in New Delhi today. Kerala makes masks mandatory in public places amid COVID scare. Supreme Court refuses to entertain plea to seeking its intervention to declare Joshimath subsidence natural disaster. United Nations declares Pakistan-based Abdul Rehman Makki as global terrorist. And Korea to take on Japan and Germany to clash with Belgium at FIH Hockey Men's World Cup in Bhubaneswar today. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.